I like recurring revenue. Who doesn't like recurring revenue? I think one of the things that stresses us out the most as web designers are those gaps between the projects. And if you can do something to smooth that out with some consistent income, I'm all for that. Have you heard about the subscription design services? I've been hearing a lot about this subscription design business model. Here's basically how it works. The idea is you take all of the design services that you've got, from websites to business cards, everything that you can do, and you kind of put it out there. And then you let clients subscribe to you as a designer, and you'll charge a monthly fee for that. It's like maybe $3,000 to $5,000 per month. And then the client gets unlimited requests. They can ask you to do as many different things as often as they want throughout the entire month. But there's one catch. The catch is they can only ask for one thing at a time. So you have to finish the first thing before you start the second thing. And that's the throttle. Right, so because you can't have concurrent requests, the turnaround time is more like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 days per request, something like that. And that means in reality, you're only getting maybe 2 or 3 requests per week, and that might stack up to maybe 10 requests per month. So in this example, unlimited in this context kind of means like 10 requests per month. And then some people will offer like a second tier service where you can do 2 concurrent requests. So that can kind of get your request count up to maybe more like 20 requests per month. And then you would charge almost double, maybe not quite double what you would charge for the first plan. And then there you go. And so now you've got these high ticket recurring revenue clients for this subscription design business model. What do you think? Do you like that? I have mixed feelings about it. There's some things that I like a lot about it. I like the fact that you get to exercise all of your skills at the same time because you've got them all out there. People can ask you to do anything they want. I like the recurring revenue side of it. I like the high ticket side of it. But there's one thing that is just a deal breaker for me that I can't get past this one thing. And here's what it is. You forfeit your leadership. And I can't get past that. Like, why would you sit around and wait for people to tell you what to do rather than using your expertise in web design and marketing to tell other people what they need to do to get the results that they want? Doctors don't work like that. Can you imagine if doctors worked like that? Imagine if you went to the doctor, you have an upset stomach, and you're like, hey, doc, can I get some stomach surgery today? Yeah. And the doctor says, sure, I know how to do that. I know how to do stomach surgery. Hop on up. Let's give it a shot. Isn't that crazy? Like, you would never expect that to happen. So why wouldn't we want to act more like doctors? Why would we not want to use both our expertise and our skill set, like our knowledge and experience, and the fact that we can actually do things? Why would we not combine both of those things? Why would you not charge for both of those things instead of just charging for the ability to do skills? And I think that sort of underscores part of the problem. Like, part of the problem is you're undervaluing your own stuff because you're only charging for half the stuff that you could be doing. You're only charging for the actual skill set. You're not charging for your knowledge about what works. And so right off the bat, you're undervaluing yourself, but you're also putting the client at a disadvantage. Have you ever talked to any of these? Most of the clients that I work with are like home service businesses or doctors or something like that. And have you ever called anybody? If you just call them and say, hey, where is your domain name registered? or who hosts your website? They don't know anything about the stuff that we do. It's crazy. They're really good at the stuff that they do. But when it comes to web design and online marketing, they're not good at that, right? In fact, the same thing with me in the doctor situation. Like, if I go to the doctor, my stomach's upset, I'm not going to go tell the doctor what to do to me. I don't know what to do to me. That's the whole reason I went to the doctor, to try to figure out what to do. So why would you not treat yourself like the doctor and the client like the patient, and then they can come to you and you can help them get the results that they want? I think that's a much better approach. It's what I refer to as a solution-first agency. Doctors have solution-first agencies. For example, when you go to the doctor, if it does turn out that you actually need stomach surgery, it's not like the doctor is like downloading from the Matrix, like how to do stomach surgery on the fly and just figuring it out right now. The doctor figured out, hey, I know how to do a thing that creates a result for people. That's the idea of having the solution first. And then I'm going to find people that want that result. But before I actually enroll them into my program, I'm going to make sure they're a good candidate for what I actually am doing, right? So in our context with web design, we don't do it that way most of the time. We normally say, hey, come on, all people are welcome. And then we interview the client to try to figure out what it is that they want. And then we sort of download Matrix style, like, okay, this is the first time I've ever done this, but I think I can do it, that kind of a thing. Even if it's a reuse of the same skills, It's usually not a reuse of the same marketing strategy, the same lead acquisition strategy, the same lead nurturing strategy. There's a lot of variability that goes into how to get leads for different types of businesses. In the same way, the same doctor doesn't do surgery for everybody. You've got heart surgeons, you've got people that can fix broken bones. Like, you got specialists in all different kinds of areas, and they make a lot of money, and they have consistent clients, and they get leads without hardly even trying. And I think that's a huge, huge point, because if you can put yourself in the position of like a doctor, like in a doctor framework with a solution first agency where people come to you both for your advice as to what should be done and for your ability to actually implement what works, that puts you on a totally different level. It's the value is there because now you're charging for both things. The results are better because you actually know what to do, at least more so than the HVAC person does or the doctor does or whatever. Like, they don't know anything about online marketing. You and I do. So like, that means the results will be better because we at least have some experience in this area. You're making more money. Since you're getting better results, you can charge more. You have these longer relationships because who doesn't want to stop? Like, who wants to stop getting results? Oh, you're bringing me too many leads. Let's cut this off. Nobody does that. And on top of that, another thing that I think is a really important point with the subscription design business versus a solution first agency, with a subscription design business, not only are we asking the clients to ask us for the stuff that they need on a recurring basis, but we're also asking them to have a never-ending supply of those requests. I don't think that that's realistic. They're probably going to be like, well, man, that didn't work. I don't know what to do now, right? So wouldn't it be better if you said, here's what I think we should do first, and just kind of lay it out from there. Let me give you an example. Let's suppose you were working with somebody that does some kind of home services, pest control, carpet cleaning, pool maintenance, lawn care, something like that, and building fences and decks. And you said, hey, here's what we can do to help you with something like that. What if we put postcards in all of these mailboxes in this new subdivision, because they don't have fences and decks yet, and they don't have lawn care people, whatever, right? So like, we're gonna put postcards in all those mailboxes. I'll design the card. I'll put a QR code on the postcard so people can scan that. That'll take them to a landing page on your website. So now you're building the landing page. On that landing page, we'll have a special offer for the Foxhead neighborhood, for the neighborhood where we put these postcards. And it'll be a legit offer because if you can do multiple houses in the same neighborhood, that's going to save your client time traveling around because they can just go to one place and just do all the houses in that neighborhood. And so therefore they can offer a discount. And so you do that. And then you maybe have an email opt-in to redeem that discount. And so you're building out an entire customer journey, starting with the postcard all the way to having a collection of leads all in the same neighborhood, which is the outcome that these people want. You see what I mean? So it's the result that people want. They don't want the postcard. They don't want the landing page. They don't even want the website. They don't want any of that stuff. What people actually want is a tightly packed route of clients where they can drive to one neighborhood, do a bunch of services in the same area, and then go home and everybody's happy. That's what they want. So why not offer that? You see what I'm saying? And if you can do that, then you have the ability to say, here's step 1, here's step 2, here's step 3, and you can actually plan out the entire system without relying on the client to try to figure it out on their own. And now you have a never-ending supply of all the things that you could be doing forever. That's a huge thing. In fact, I've got like a whole list of like my top 10 favorite recurring revenue like services that we as web designers can offer. It's probably too much to put into this video. I'll do it in the next one. So subscribe so you don't miss out on that one, because two things. I think that you'll find that there are plenty of things that you already know how to do, but you're just not charging for, that could make a big difference in your recurring revenue. And I'll also introduce a few things that might be eye-opening and different that you might want to add to the mix too. So anyway, don't forget to subscribe to that. We'll do the top 10 things of recurring revenue services that we can offer as web designers. But back to this. The difference between subscription design model and solution first agency. You charge more, longer clients, better results, but it's also easier to get leads. Have you thought about the lead generation aspect of a subscription design business? I've been selling websites and doing web design for over 20 years, and I think I've tried every single possible way to work with clients, including subscription services and so forth. And one of the things that I've noticed is it's so much easier to get leads if you're offering a result as opposed to offering to do a thing. Because nobody wants anyone to do the things. They want the result that comes from having done the thing effectively, which actually means two things. They first have to ask for the right stuff, and they have to ask it from somebody who's talented enough to pull it off appropriately and to actually win at doing the thing. So why not just cut to the chase and say, you don't have to worry about asking me to do the right things. If you need leads from within driving distance of your location, or you want to have that tightly packed home services route, I know how to generate that for you. And then if you can offer the outcome, it's so much easier to get leads. So how do you figure that out though? Because how do you know who you're going to be talking to? The same way the doctor figures it out. You have to pick the audience first. So it's in the silly example that I said about the stomach doctor, that doctor, before he even talked to me as a patient, went to medical school and did all of this stuff to figure out, how do I fix people's stomach problems, right? And so he picked a niche. He picked the niche of stomach problem people. He's not going after migraine headache people. He's going after people with stomach problems, and he knows how to fix that. And so why not pick an audience? Like, why not pick a group so that you can say, I know how to get the leads for that group? Like we were just talking about with the home service businesses, wouldn't it be great if you really specialized in helping people get leads from within driving distance of where they live? Or if you pick something like health and wellness, that's a different situation because the doctor doesn't drive there. People come to him. And there's a different situation too in terms of the leads, because if I need somebody to mow my lawn, I don't have to watch a webinar to figure that out. I just need to know, hey, I don't want to do it. Somebody else could do it. That would be great. But if I'm going to go to somebody that deals with health and wellness or diet or migraines or something like that, I'm probably going to learn a little bit about what I'm getting myself into before I go and hire the doctor. So that means these health and wellness people have much more of a lead nurturing component to their marketing strategy than, say, home services people would. So all that is to say, pick a niche. Like, you got to pick an audience so you can figure out how to market properly for that audience so that you can build the solution first. And then you can say, hey, would you like this result? And it's so much easier to get leads like that. So then the question is, well, what niche should you pick? Well, if that's something that you're thinking about, go over to lead.blue/leads. I've got an entire free course that's called Niche Mastery that will walk you through the entire process, totally for free. Just check it out. It's lead.blue/leads. That'll help you figure out how to pick the right niche. And then once you pick the niche, there's a couple of steps that you follow after that. Step one is, now that you know the audience, you can then go to step two, which is what are the exact specific outcomes that audience wants? So like with the home services thing, tightly packed route so you can drive to one neighborhood and do it. Do whatever the service is right there. That would be an example of an outcome. Then the third step would be, well, what do I need to build in order to create that outcome for people? And maybe it's something like we were talking about with the postcards, to the landing page, to the neighborhood offer idea. But it's not just that, it could be other things too. But the idea is you start building out the solution, and then once you have the solution built out, then you can actually go out and market to your clients. And it's much easier to get the clients because not only do you know who you're offering, who you're trying to reach, you know where to go and who to talk to, but you also have an actual outcome to offer to those people rather than just saying, hey, do you want to ask me to do some stuff? I can do some stuff. What do you want me to do? I can do lots of things. Ask me to do some stuff. Nobody's going to ask you to do anything. But if you say, hey, I have this actual thing, would you like this thing? Way more people are going to respond to that. And then the next question might become, well, how am I going to build it all out? Is WordPress still the best platform to use for all of that? Check out this next video because the 2023 WordPress survey results came out, and I put a whole video together right here to talk about who's leaving WordPress and why, and whether or not it's going to be the right platform for you. So check that out, and I'll see you right there. Talk to you soon.